What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Rojo, the Convict's Perspective. And man, before I start, I just want to say we started another one of those 50-50 drawings, just like the one Chavos and Chelas just won recently. Find the Cash App or the PayPal that we posted. Each ticket's $5. Not this coming up Sunday, but the following. We'll do another drawing. Everybody who participates, $5 ticket, puts you in the bucket. We'll split it with you 50-50. Also, man, jump on that membership, man. God, we got Flacco's putting so much work in on the members only page between the lives and some of the rare and unique photos and other stuff that he's got up there. It's worth it, man. It's pretty dope for all the stuff we don't put public. You know what I mean? And man, check it out. So yesterday during the live, I somebody had asked me a question, how I felt about vaccination, and I expressed my opinion. And for those of you who are listening, you know where I stand on that. And we received a warning about saying things that are contrary to doctors' opinions or whatnot, which I didn't. Somebody asked me a question about where I stand about that subject, and I stated my opinion, and I reiterated many times that it was my opinion only. And man, I got a warning basically that I can't say anything that's not pro getting that particular thing done to you. I don't even want to say it, but you guys know what I'm talking about. If not, you could look at my live from last night, or you know what I mean, where my opinion is made clear. They erased it, whatnot. But just real quick, man, you see things like that, man, and that makes you wonder even more so, what's kind of going on. It's like, why is one platform pushing toward one way of approaching that, whether you're pro or against? You know what I mean? That's how they start taking things from you. You know what I mean? Like, the only way that they can justify it is it's their platform and you can only talk about what we want you to talk about. I have no problem with that. They own that. It's theirs. I get it. But that's where it starts, because all the social media is owned by a very small group of people that all have like philosophies, politically and ethically and morally, whatever the case may be. And so if you ever have any view that differs from, these certain people, they can hush you. All these social media sites, there's a huge amount of viewers, it's a huge audience, man. So, you know, they allow what they think to flow through with no problem. You know what I mean? If your views are in line with what they think, you know what I mean? But that's where it starts. That's where they start That's where they start hushing you. You know what I mean? It's like people have been fighting years. That's a fundamental right to be able to say what's on your mind. You know what I mean? As long as you're not threatening nobody. You know what I'm saying? So, man, you guys just be aware of little things like that are going on. You know, Facebook owns Instagram. You guys know where that individual stands on his beliefs and his thoughts. You know, Bill Gates has Microsoft and is a major figure in all kinds of things. And he's also real pushy about certain agendas that he wants. One of them being what I'm talking about, and another one being that there needs to be a reduction in the amount of people around using resources for the earth to continue functioning. I get it. I can't be too specific, you know what I'm saying, because they'll try to hush your boy. But pay attention to what's going on, man. That's where it starts. The same thing with like the Second Amendment. Oh, we're only going to take these ones that are warlike. Oh, we're only going to take ones that you can detach the magazine. Oh, we're only going to take them that have flash suppressors and collapsible folding stocks and stuff. Man, next thing you know, oh, there doesn't need to be semi-automatic. You know what I mean? Man, next thing you know, oh, anything more than one pull, one explosion. And they'll just keep going and going and going and going. And that's with everything that they want to chip away with. You know what I mean? And it's crazy that it's gotten to this point, where it's played such a big role politically, no matter what side it did or did not benefit, no matter anything about any kind of collusions with other places or whatnot, or, disinformation from either side. It doesn't even matter what side it is. But when certain platforms, the owners and the select group of ownership that has these platforms want you to not have a different opinion than them, and if you do, they're not going to allow you to voice what's your opinion. You know what I mean? And I made it very, very clear that what I was saying was strictly my opinion. And it's kind of a thing where, hey, do you like the Warriors or do you like the Lakers? I like the Warriors. That's my opinion. Don't everybody gotta like the Warriors and agree with me? You know what I mean? But yeah, I was real surprised, man. I woke up to a message from Flacco talking about we got like a warning, we got admonished, and don't let it happen again, and you're not allowed to say this and that. And I couldn't believe it. I wasn't out there telling people don't do it, nothing like this. I was just stating for me. You know what I mean? What other people do, I'm not so much concerned with. I'm concerned with me and mine. And that's it. Everybody has a right to do, well, they're etching away at these rights. They're going to make it so where, if you don't comply, your opinion's not going to be, it's not going to go no farther than amongst those right around you because of the stranglehold on the media. You know what I mean? I just wanted to touch on that real quick. I found it like disturbing, that because I have an opinion one way or another, and maybe I'm ignorant. Maybe I totally am wrong about the whole situation. Whether I am or I am not, it doesn't matter. I should be able to speak my opinion freely. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to touch on that real quick and see what y'all thought about that. Man, be careful with what you say because, people don't like when you don't agree with them, and they'll make it so your comments not available or whatnot. And I would suggest, man, in the future, we don't talk about anything that's controversial. Unfortunately, they are the boss. They pay the bills. They supply the platform. You know what I mean? We're looking at alternate places with the podcast and with other, type of media outlets where we can speak a little more freely, like we should be able to as grown-ups, But while we're using this platform, man, let's stay away from any kind of political stuff, anything that's controversial in the news. You know what I mean? For those kind of issues, you guys can get at me or Flacco at a convict's perspective on Instagram. You know what I mean? In private, and we could discuss it there. We're working on establishing a podcast as soon as possible where we can speak what we want. We don't gotta. I gotta think 5 sentences ahead. You know what I mean? Just to be careful, I don't say anything that's gonna get the video banned or blocked or, they call it like community violations or copyright violations, anything like that. And this just goes back to, me and Flacco made a video last year when we were out in California talking to a homeless gentleman. And there was some music playing at the store next to where we were eating. And I have no control over that. I'm in a public place. You know what I mean? It was not up to me to turn it down, turn it off, change the channel, nothing like that. It was solely out of my control. Yet I go to publish this video and I get a copyright violation. Well, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? What, we're going to make $40 off a video? Nobody's listening to our video to hear that song. I mean, the song wasn't even no good. You know what I mean? But, it's just little things like that, man, that make you wonder, what direction we're headed in our society. You know what I mean? I wonder. I see all kinds of stuff I never thought I'd be having to talk about. You know what I mean? If I had a different train of thought, I'd be able to speak way more freely than I am, And it's messed up. It's not like, oh, woe is me, kind of nothing like that. But it's something to think about. Whatever side you're on, you can agree that even if you don't agree with this person, they should still be able to say what's on their mind. Whether you think they're crazy, stupid, it goes against your religion, it goes against anything. They still should be able to talk what's on their mind, period. That's my opinion. Yesterday I got in trouble for stating my opinion, but I can't get in no trouble for that. So anyway, YouTube, I just wanted to bring that to you guys' attention, man, and see what your feedback is on that, man. You guys think that's insane? You think it's like going a little too far? Like not allowing me to express how I feel answering a question from a subscriber? That's a trip to me. You know what I mean? But anyway, enough of that, man. I just wanted to run that by you guys and see how you felt because it tripped me out. It tripped out Gunner. You know what I mean? Flacco. Like, we were really surprised because I went back and listened to it and I'm just like, wow, I didn't advocate for anything from either point of view. I only spoke my personal feelings. And I'm not allowed to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, I just want to talk about Pelican Bay. You know what I mean? Pelican Bay is miserable. My first time going to Pelican Bay was 1995. I was about 45 days from the house, and for some reason they shot me from the East Block 6 yard to Pelican Bay. I went to I want to say it was D7, but I'm not 100% positive. It's been, you know, man, 26 something years. So I go over there to D facility, man, and I go in this pod not knowing what to expect. I never been there. There was only one somewhat friendly person. There was a NR defector from Daly City in there. The rest were Serenos and MA members, and there was like a one cell with two Pisces in it. And man, it was the longest 45 days ever. Nobody to talk to, you know what I mean? Like, I was real serious back then about like not talking to people who walked away and stuff. You know what I mean? I looked at them the same way people look at people now, like, you know what I mean? So it was a long 45 days, man. I mean, granted, there's people in there with 20 years, but I'm just saying the time there is dead. You know what I mean? You wake up 4 o'clock, 4:20, you have breakfast. Like if you're in the northern movement, man, as soon as you start hearing the doors in the morning, you pretty much get up, roll up your mattress, wash your face, brush your teeth, man, wait around, breakfast comes. They give you about 30 minutes after breakfast is done, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, you know, it all depends. And then you're going to work out. And depending on who you're with, you're going to work out. You know, like I've said before, man, it wasn't nothing to warm up with 122 counts. You know what I mean? Some days, man, I literally did burpees from let's call it 5:30 in the morning until 9, 10 o'clock straight. Like just sweat up every ounce of liquid in your body. You know what I mean? I paroled from there weighing like a buck 60. You know what I mean? Skinny, no muscles, no nothing. I was tore up. Like they put you through the ringer up there. And other pods, man, like it's not so bad. You know, you do burpees twice a week, and then the rest of your workout routines for the week would be, you know, whatever you chose to do at that time. But it all depends on like who's running the block, you know what I mean, and who's pushing the workout, you know, because there's different people with different jobs. Like, hey, you're gonna run the exercise, you're gonna run the street education, you're gonna run mainline training, whatever it might be. There's different people with different responsibilities. You know what I mean? When I was in there with the big homies, Tibbs in DC, man, we were doing burpees like you wouldn't imagine. Like if I literally counted every push up I did while I was in there, man, I can't even tell you where it'd be hundreds of thousands, no doubt, maybe more. You know, it's man, like man, real talk, at least 1,000 a day, 6 times a week, and then plus I do push ups on my own because I was more into the push ups and dips, you know, and working out versus the calisthenics. You know what I mean? Um, but a day in Pelican Bay, man, it's the slowest time I've ever done anywhere. You know, and I've been doing time off and on since '88. And I've been in holes, I've been in ad I've been main lines, county jail holes, Texas Youth Commission. And there's just nothing like the Bay, man. The Bay's designed to just totally crush any kind of stimulus. You know what I mean? You'll never see a phone, unless a family member does. I used the phone in the 3 trips I made to the Bay. I used the phone once, and it was to fight a one. It was, they tried to say I checked out a book that I never checked out. You know what I mean? And they were trying to. I seen a withdrawal from my trust account, paying like they took money, like I never returned a book, like I stole a book from them, and they just took the money. They just yanked it. So it wasn't 115. Excuse me. It was a 602. So I argued a 602, and I actually had to talk on the phone to a sergeant in San Quentin for my 115 hearing because it was something in San Quentin and not Pelican Bay. But you're not using the phone to call your people. You're really really far. I mean, unless you happen to live like in Redding or something, or you're from Ukiah or one of them places, which there's not too many people from there that end up in the Bay. It's dead, man. There's 4 cells on the bottom, 4 cells on the top, shower at each end. Then there's a door at the end, which has a little yard that's probably, man, 30 feet long and maybe 12 feet wide. There's nothing on it. It's 4 walls, a floor, and a metal screen with a camera up top. And it's bad, man. There's a lot of people that lose their sense and their touch with reality in there. And I understand why. If you come in there and you have a little bit of emotional, mental problems already, that sensory deprivation they give you and lack of, interacting with other people, and especially them, because they'll usually be single celled if they think something's wrong with them. Man, people lose their minds there every day. I've been in the pod a couple different times where people will be normal, 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 and then just one day they'll just start screaming and, playing games with their bodily, the stuff that comes out of their body, you know what I mean? And they just lose their minds. And all the lawsuits over all the years never did nothing until this end of hostility stuff that got everybody out of the SHU. I understand that there's going to be punishments for, assault on staff, possessing substances you can't have. But just to lock somebody in that place and just, man, totally leave them in isolation basically for an indeterminate amount of time, which is basically parole, die, or snitch, it's not right. The punishment don't suit the crime. You claim that somebody's part of an organization that, I mean, I'm sure most of them are, you know what I mean? But if they haven't done anything to warrant excessive punishment, you're already in prison. You're already going to be, on these messed up level 4 yards, with life and stuff like that, where anything could happen at any given time, where your life's in danger essentially every time you come out of your cell, even in your cell. But I'm glad they got rid of it, man, because that place was bad. They don't feed you nothing. You have nothing coming at that place. It's when people talk about the Bay, they show you on Gangland or National Geographic, whatever, of what it looks like, but they usually show you the A and the B yard. They'll show like people walking in the SHU, and you'll get pictures of the individual pods and stuff inside the SHU. But a day in the life in there, man, it's long, man. Every day, you got 24 hours in a day. Them days are like 40 hours because it's just dead quiet. You got a little bit of TV action. And all you're going to do is study and work out. I mean, that's enough to keep most people from going crazy. You know what I mean? But not everybody. It takes its toll. People get out of the SHU weird after a couple years. Not interacting with nobody but your cellie and maybe a couple other people in the pod that happen to have the same, political, ideas that you have. And then you're going to get thrust back out into society after being like basically stuck in a bedroom that you can't leave for God knows how long. So, I mean, Pelican Bay, Flacco broke down Corcoran real well. There's a lot more going on at Corcoran. You know what I mean? You had the yards and stuff before they had the cages and all that, where people go out. In Pelican Bay, the only time that you have action at anything without being shackled, cuffed, etc., is with your cellie. At no other time will you be around another person where you're not fully restrained. Medical, visit, they'll uncuff you when you visit, once they get you secured. But everything, they'll pop your door, you and your cellie will come out, go to your yard, hit your shower, and that's the only time you move freely. Any other movement anywhere, full strip, full shackle, arm restraints, leg restraints. And it's just something else, man. Their medical was a joke. I remember filling out a thing in a medical slip to see the nurse, and it was a good 5 weeks before I seen the nurse. You know what I mean? I mean, granted, it wasn't no emergency, and I was basically doing it to get out to try to see other homeboys. You know what I mean? But that's irrelevant. What they don't know if you need that attention or not. You know what I mean? The law library, man, you're supposed to have real good action by the rules of the country, the Constitution, whatever it might be, at going to legal law whenever you want. You know, and I understand it's a secure housing unit they got to do. It takes a long time, but man, I've gone to the law library where I put in the request more than a month before. Your mail would take like a month. I mean, they totally segregate you from society. I mean, going to these ad segs like in East Block and all that kind of stuff, you know, that's being in the hole. Man, it's so different though. You're interacting, you carry on kind of a your social, you know, development doesn't get just shut all the way down like it does in Pelican Bay. You're in there 23 hours a day in your room. You got a TV. That's what saves a lot of people, I'm sure. You know, being able to watch the news and stay in touch with what's going on out there. But man, if you don't got a TV and you don't got no celly, man, it's literally like being in a room a little bigger than a bathroom, like this, all day. You know, you can how much can you write? You can only write so many letters. You know, you can only work out so much. You know, it's crazy, man. I'm so glad that they were able to be able to get people out of there that don't deserve it. You know, like I said, I get it. You know, you get in trouble, man. You got to go sit down for a while. Just like when you get in trouble and go to jail, you got caught slipping, you got to go to jail. I get it. That's what society decided. But to just indeterminately throw these people in these, man, it's inhumane. Like I handled it fine, and a lot of people do, but it's not right. You know, not without any kind of cause, not without any kind of, you know, very disruptive, violent behavior of you, just because who you may or may not associate with, to indeterminately be able to throw you away. Man, it's a good thing that them four guys from them four groups did what they did with the hunger strikes and whatnot, because there's nothing cool about that place at all. You know, they go way above and beyond in messing you over. I mean, you guys see some of these pictures of the homies in the feds. Those are supposed to be super maxes and stuff. Man, you in Pelican Bay, you're not out there busting all these pictures. You're not outdoors with people. You're not just chilling and eating big bowls of menudo and stuff. You ain't doing nothing. Pelican Bay is like super super messed up, man. And for all y'all who never been and you wonder like how people stay sane in there, the sane ones are the ones that they got a strong mind. You know, they're able to focus and keep their mind busy and do things, man, because it'll break a lot of people, especially year upon year upon year, you know. But if you guys have any specific questions about Pelican Bay, feel free to ask me in the comments and I'll address them, man. But I was just giving you a short, you know, little spiel about how bad Pelican Bay was. When they say the SHU is terrible, man, it's terrible. It the way that they got out of there, I never would have foreseen it happening. You know, there's been many lawsuits, cruel and unusual punishment, inhumane, mental health. You know, it violates mental health things and all that kind of stuff. Man, I never thought people would get out of there, man. But it just took a little bit of work with some guys standing together. And part of the whole philosophy is can't stop, won't stop. Is man, just keep pushing that paper when you think your rights are being violated. Don't let them mess you over. And this kind of goes with what I'm saying at first, man. They'll take and take and take and take. And pretty soon you have nothing like it was in the Bay. Man, them guys fought. They kept fighting. And they came out. Now they're on the main lines. And I salute them. Man, they made that happen. You know, but just so you know, when you know guys have done some time in the Bay, man, they've been through some bad times. Because that place is not cool. You know, it's not no war zone or nothing like that. Because you really only have action at your celly unless they make a mistake with the doors. But man, it's a psychological warfare, you know. Anyway, YouTube, just wanted to reach out to you guys. Feeling a whole lot better, and wanted to get out some regular content, man. But don't forget to check out that membership if y'all want to see some unseen footage, you know, some personalized live chats with Flacco, and that 50-50 raffle. Our main store, we've been giving you guys like some filler, you know, clothing items and stuff. The main store that we've been working on for a while with all the dope stuff should be online at the end of this week. And you guys are gonna trip, man. We got some fire. Okay. So anyway, it's your boy Rojo. I ramble. Yeah, that's what I do, but I keep it real. Have a good day, YouTube. Appreciate y'all.